Welcome everybody to our first Commerce and Conversation of 2026. Today we have Jamie Wallingford from the Missouri Business Center. Goodness, it's a mouthful. Presenting with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to Jamie.
Avery, do you need anybody to put their information in the chat or anything so you can record who's in attendance or anything like that?
I think that I have everybody's information available through the link.
Fantastic. And are you recording?
I am recording.
All right. I'm I can't see the screen anymore. It's so awkward now. So I'm I don't know what's happening. Thank you so much for having me, though. Like Avery said, I'm Jamie Wallingford. I'm with the Missouri Women's Business Center. I am over our Capital Access program, which means as we have our business coaches and everything here, I work with the business owners directly to help find financing, understand their budgets, making sure even their personal side of everything is squared away before they kind of begin their venture for small businesses. I was actually really excited today that Avery had me come on because I love all things goal setting. That's how I stay productive throughout the year. If I didn't have goals and learn how to review them and stuff like that, I kind of always feel like I'm off in left field. So this is a great topic, especially in January. Before I really get started, though, I just have a couple questions. So I know Alicia's on here and we kind of caught up, and I know so Gwen's with her as well. Who else is on this call? Can you kind of give me a little idea of, are you a business owner or do you work in the financial industry? What's your role and what do you hope to gain from this conversation today? And I can't see you, so I need Avery.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Emily, if you want to go.
Oh, okay. I'm Emily. I'm the editor over at the Fulton Sun, which is a newspaper. I'm just here to learn. I don't really have a whole ton of goals for this year, so maybe this will help me jog some ideas for some goals that I should have.
Anna, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, you just heard me coughing. I thought I was on mute.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, sorry. I'm kind of sick, so I'm a little voice sounds weird. So I have a travel business. I don't know if this really pertains to what you guys are even going to talk about, but anything to help grow my little business I got going on is helpful.
It absolutely has everything to do with today's call. So you are in the right place.
I think that's everyone on, Jamie.
Okay.
But you mentioned the other two that we talked about.
Fantastic. Oh, I clearly can't skip that way. Here we go. So when we think about goal setting for our business, and it doesn't even have to be for business, it could be in our personal lives. Like we have Emily here with the paper and stuff. She could be setting goals for what's going to happen there. What does she want to achieve for her personal life? And this goes for everyone on the call. If we don't have goals that we are actively thinking about, for any aspect of our life, what are we driving towards? What are we waking up every day for to focus on what's happening the next day and the next week and the next month and so forth? So without clear goals, especially as business owners, we really do tend to react instead of plan. We're kind of going on a whim. What's happening? What are we doing? Oh, we have all of these new members now. Maybe I'm going to use myself as an example just because it's flat in my brain. I just opened a gym. And so all of a sudden I'm thinking I'm going to have slow growth, and I didn't have a plan for a large influx of individuals. So if I didn't plan for that, what am I supposed to do? It's the same with any business. And then you also kind of confuse activity with progress. Is the activity that we're having, is it helping us work towards our goal? Or are we kind of saying stagnant because we see the activity and to us that's successful, but now we don't know what to do to take it to the next step? We also look at without clear goals, we struggle with our cash flow. If we don't know what we are doing, and I always talk about this a lot on our Caffeinated Minds, which is another program that we offer out here on Tuesday mornings. But in a lot of my one-on-one coachings, we really talk about understanding cash flow. When it's coming in, how are we utilizing that? How are we paying our bills? Do we need to restructure? And without the goals in mind, that number becomes very clouded and we don't really know how to execute even on the simplest things of paying our bills. And so you lose motivation very, very quickly, because if you're just staying stagnant and you're just doing the daily operations without a focus on where to go forward, you're really, it's all about, you're not having anything to measure. You're not seeing a true direction of the way you want to go. So goals really do matter. And I know, like in January, we always hear like setting the resolutions and setting goals and all of this. And we've already had the annual drop day, like bail out on my resolution day. So this is all great timing, because actually we're picking up after most people already drop off of the wagon. So as we look at it, the first thing I want you guys to do, and again, it doesn't matter if you're looking at this for your business or your personal life, this is valuable for every aspect. And you have to have a clear vision. So that's the first thing you need to do. What does your vision for your business or your personal life look like for 1 year out, for 3 years out, and for 5 years out? So some examples would be, in business, I want to replace my income. So maybe I don't have to work 2 jobs. Maybe I can get rid of my 9-to-5 job and focus completely on my business, so I don't have to be so split, because that work-life balance is completely, like, that is a thing. Like, you as a business owner, especially if you still have to work a regular 9-to-5 job to pay your bills at home and help cover the difference for your business, work-life balance gets to absolutely be non-existent. You're lucky if you get to sleep, sometimes shower, like it's quite awful. There's no boundaries. But you're also thinking about, okay, maybe for my business, I want to hire my first employee, or I want to open a second location, reach 250,000 in annual revenue, reduce my personal workload. All of these are very specific visions. And if you're not doing this for your business, think about for your personal life. I want to have money to go spend on vacation. I want to be able to be out of debt. I want to lose weight. I want to buy my first home. All of those are clear visions of what you have to do. But the next step after you sit down and you take the time to define a vision is, now how do you execute those plans? So you really want to start looking at it, whether, again, business or personal, you need to break down the vision into different categories. There are core areas that are affected. And I know this seems weird if you're thinking about it in personal, but I promise you, if you just alter the thought process a little bit, it does fit in there. But for business specifically, we're thinking financial. What are the financial categories that we need to do to alter? And this is great for the bankers in the room here, because when you're sitting down with those brand new business owners or the travel agent business, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name at the moment because I can't see the screen, but all of these help you understand how you are connecting with the individuals that are coming to you. So for Alicia and Gwen on here, we're looking at financials. Do they need loans? Are they creating, revenue through their business and stuff? Oh, excuse me, my brain is just kind of fried this morning. Then we're also going to look at customers and sales. So if that customer is coming in for that business owner, are they purchasing when they come in? If they're not and they're leaving empty-handed, why? Like, we need to encourage our business owners to be asking those questions, because if we're not making sales, whether it's in store or online, what's holding them from taking that step of actually hitting purchase? We need to look at our operations, because if maybe it's somebody we're not staffed correctly. Maybe the website is confusing. Maybe when they walk into the retail store, nobody is there to answer the question because our staffing is low, and maybe you only have one person on staff and they're answering the phone, or they're working the cash register or something of that nature. Well, now all of a sudden that person may have walked out because they're like, they don't have time for me. I'm not going to go ask them my question. So in return, I'm just not going to purchase. Maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't. So again, that's another category to look at. We want to look at marketing and visibility. How are people learning about us? we have social media at our fingertips, but if our business owners are, and I'm not, social media for us personally isn't so much a driving force to like create more income coming into our household and stuff, but visibility on, say, social media for personal would be like inspiration. Like, do we have Pinterest boards to help guide us to where we want to go in our life, to create that vision of going on that vacation, to create the vision of purchasing that home or that car? It's like your own personal vision board that drives you forward. But as a small business owner, that marketing piece is usually the first category that goes out the window that most people do not have a budget for when you're starting out, because you have other underlying costs that you need to focus on besides marketing. So utilizing the free tools to put yourself out there and consistently, because once a week isn't enough. So we need to be encouraging the business owners to be like, okay, once a day, twice a day. Who's our target market? Put very specific targeted ads out there, put reels out there, put posts, whatever it is. But we need to help them understand the vision of that category. And then again, that non-existent work-life personal balance stuff, that's another one that we need to create an image for. Because if somebody is working all of this time, there's only 24 hours in a day, what are we doing with that? And if we say we're just super busy, can we sit down with those individuals that we are working with to be like, okay, tell me specifically, what does your work-life balance look like? How are you utilizing the time? If you're supposed to be working, what does that look like? Does that look like you're picking up your phone 20 times to scroll social media, to respond to text, to respond to emails? Or are you getting up to use the bathroom, go to the quote unquote the water cooler to go talk with your coworkers and stuff like that? Or are you actually, sitting down, you have a task list to do, and okay, I'm going for 15 minutes, I'm going to check my emails, and then I'm going to check that off my box, and I'm not going to look at my email again for another couple hours until I get back to it. Maybe I need to create a presentation to go out and do a networking event. I'm going to allot myself an hour. Like, are you actually using your time to execute towards your goals? So if you don't have these categories and stuff, a lot of times we're in tunnel vision in one area and we forget about everything else that is moving the pieces forward. And so I feel like everybody has probably heard that term SMART goal. And the reason why I love the term SMART goal over just regular goals in general is regular goals can just be very vague ideas, whereas a SMART goal really forces you to sit down and execute the thought process of, is this something that is actually attainable? I love the fact that it says it's specific, it is measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This gives you exact measurements on how to execute this goal. And I always suggest the first thing we do is select a very specific goal. Okay, I'm going to say, I want to lose weight. Okay, that's so like very broad. Great. We all do. When? What does that look like? How much? I want to lose 50 pounds. Great. That is a measurable number and it's specific. Now I want to go to the end and I want to create a time limit. If you don't set a deadline, you're constantly going to have that. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it next week, whatever. Because if you think about it, everybody's like, I'll start Monday. I failed. I'm going to start next Monday. I'll pick up next Monday. No. If you know that December 31st, 2026 is your deadline, okay, great. Now I want to lose 50 pounds. I have until the last day of the year. Now you work backwards. Is that relevant? Is that attainable in your life? Yes, because it's 50 pounds. You break that down. You do the math backwards. I'm not doing the math because, well. And then you think about, is that something that you can measure? Absolutely. Every single month, I can measure based off of weight loss. Then I can also measure what I can control. How many calories am I putting into my body? How many am I burning? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally can then have a plan of action. And this goes with everything in life as well. So think about in business. I want to grow my business. Well, fantastic. Everybody wants to grow their business. But what does that look like? What does that mean? So have a SMART goal. So I want to grow my business. Okay, great. I want to increase my monthly revenue from 5,000 to 7,500 by December 2026. Now that is a specific goal and you have a deadline. But as you work through the course, is it measurable, attainable, and relevant to what is happening right now in your business? That is where you have to sit down and have those goals in the category, or not the goals, but the categories to really help you drive to hit that number. So for example, we have our goal. We want to raise it to 7,500. What must happen over the course of the next year in order to make that happen? Who is responsible? Do you have team members on your team that need to be bringing in referrals, extra sales? What does that look like? Or is it all on you? And if it is all on you, what do you need to do? Do you need to network? Do you need to reduce your sales? You control what that outcome looks like. So what additional resources do you need to attain that goal? And again, if you do not say by when, that goal can literally just be pushed aside. So it is so important to really identify and envision what you want for the year and then execute the SMART goals. And again, this is just kind of the example going forward with that. If you just wanted to kind of break down through the categories, we know we need to increase prices. We need, depending on what the business is, are there service packages that we need to put in place that would be more beneficial for the consumers when they're looking at it, to give them more choices. So that way, if you only have two choices, they may kind of get iffy because they're looking at the price points and be like, well, I don't know. But maybe if I add 2 or 3 more packages in there with just a little bit difference in the value that you're putting, now all of a sudden they have choices, not too many. But now if they go with the middle, they feel like they're getting kind of like that bargain deal in the middle. And I'm kind of thinking with like travel agents and stuff like that, where it's bare bones, you're not providing anything extra, versus you're planning everything, all of the top notch, you're doing all inclusive, you're doing all of the planning for them. Or you can kind of have that middle route where they get a little say, so you give them the options and then they pick what they want to go into their plan. And so you have your different tiers. So all of those goals that you are creating, you've got to have the action steps in order to move it forward. And I know I'm really kind of just like pushing that, like that sense of goals equals actions. You must have actions for it. But that's kind of like the hardest part when it comes to setting the goals, is really figuring out that confidence in yourself to know it's okay, because we're so used to listening to everybody else around us being like, well, that's not such a good idea. Are you sure you should do that? They have no idea. Unless you're sitting next to like this billionaire that has operated multiple businesses, or they're living their best life currently. Because if they're not, like, those are not the people we're taking advice from. And that's what we want our small business owners and even ourselves to really stop and think about. If they haven't done it, why are we listening to somebody that hasn't done it? We want to find those positive role models and mentors and stuff in our lives that we can bounce those ideas off and get true feedback from somebody that has experience in that realm. So as you are tracking the progress through your goals, it is really, really vital. Like, I've heard it so many times where people are like, yeah, I've looked at it. Yeah, I know what my numbers look like and blah, blah, blah. But they're not really writing it down. So there isn't a clear understanding of what is actually happening. So business specific, I highly encourage everyone that I work with to track. It is so amazing to me that when you're saying track your numbers, know your numbers, you would think that people would at least be opening their account to understand what's coming in and what's going out. But so many times people are not even looking at that, because the financial piece of a small business, though it's vital, is the scariest piece. And people would rather push it kind of under the rug and think about it later, instead of looking at it every single day to see that needle move. So when we're tracking our metrics in our business specifically, kind of not personal, but you know how to kind of track it for yourself, is let's look at what is our monthly revenue looking like? Is it down? Is it plateaued? Is it going up? What's happening? What's the factors that are doing that? And if we are seeing these movements, but we don't know what's causing it, how do we know where to focus our time, whether it's on marketing or sales, whatever it is, how do we know? What is our profit margin looking like? Like, are we increasing enough after we've executed and paying all of our bills? We've got our cash flow coming in. Are we seeing a profit margin in our numbers? If not, what do we need to do? How many customers do we have coming in? And not only that, but how many repeat customers do we have? Are we earning their trust and the loyalty to have them come back repeatedly to come see us? If not, why not? Are we asking them surveys and stuff like that? Are we asking, what brought you into the business? Was it something specific? Was it word of mouth from somebody else? We need to know these things, because if we don't know, our customers and the word of mouth marketing is some of the best things that we can do, because we can talk ourselves up all we want online. But if we're not seeing our customers stand up for us, it's always that saying, like, if people are talking good or bad, whether it's in front of you or online, those are the same people that are going to be doing that when you're not around. Are they saying good things behind my back when I'm not around? Are they encouraging my growth? Are they, there to help build my success, or are they holding me back? And it's the same with those customers. It's like the keyboard warriors, where they're like on Reddit posting all of the negative comments and stuff like that. We've got to be able to control what's going on. When we are putting money into marketing and stuff, what's the conversion rate? If I decided to boost a post online and maybe it cost me $100 to do that, what did my sales do after I boosted that post? What's the conversion rate of spending the money on that? What's the return on my investment? And then let's look at our expenses. Are we overexpending in areas where we could actually cut back? Say marketing. Do we need more inventory, or do we have plenty of inventory, but we're just trying to stay on top of it because we only have a handful of customers and they've already seen the merchandise in the store, and they're not going to come back unless I have new inventory, but I'm not pushing out the old stuff. So do I have money that's wasting away and now I'm going to have to discount it or just give it away to get it out to increase people coming back in to see? All of these different metrics are so important to be able to just know your numbers. And if you don't have cash in reserves for you, so like if you're bringing money in and you're paying your expenses, if you're not assigning a job to every single dollar that's coming in and out of your accounts, then you're likely to make very irrational decisions when it comes to the money, because you're like, oh, I've got extra money sitting over here, so I can do this, instead of putting it away for emergencies. Because just like our personal life, when we have emergency funds built up, our business needs emergency funds as well. Because who knows what's going to happen? Life's no matter what we're doing. So you've got to have the reserves. Everything we do, I love this saying, progress beats perfection. Because when you long and focus on perfection, you are never going to move forward, because you're always constantly thinking, I can't do it until it's perfect. Well, what is perfect? What does that mean? And if you don't know the steps to get to this perfection level that you have created in your mind, you're never going to know what is and is not going to work. So I would rather you see you progress forward. And it's that saying, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Like, it's okay. You're not failing. Failing is not trying at all. But if you fall and it didn't work, that's just a lesson. So we need to be okay with learning the lessons along the way, because never has there ever been anybody in the history of life or business, period, that has been able to execute everything 100% perfect. So we have to get perfection out of our mind. The other piece when we're doing this is, so often we set a goal and we never look at it again. Yes, we're doing the SMART goal method, but are we analyzing it? Are you reviewing your progress every single month? Because you need to be. You need to look. If your goal was to increase revenue in your business, but I'm not looking at it monthly. I have no idea. Did what I put into place move the needle forward? Did it move backwards? Do I need to make adjustments with my marketing, with my sales price, whatever it is? But if you don't know because you're not looking at it, you could be literally going months in the wrong direction. And now all of a sudden, instead of being a week or two behind, now you're months behind at hitting your goal. And I don't know about you, but as we get older, I swear to you, time flies. The days are ridiculously long, but all of a sudden the years have gotten shorter. I don't know what it is. A 24-hour day feels like a 40-hour day. But it's probably like March in my brain at this point, even though it's January 500th, because it's the longest month. But after you continue to look at your numbers and everything monthly, you need to do a quarterly reset. Okay, maybe I've achieved it. Maybe I'm nowhere near it. Is the goal that I set for myself or my business, is it realistic? Because if it is not, it is time to pivot. And pivoting is okay. I should have put a little post in here from friends with Ross yelling, pivot. Because if you're not, and you just, again, if you continue to go in the same direction, you're just digging that hole deeper and deeper. And we got to be able to move. Business is exciting. Business is all about pivoting and going in a different direction just to figure out what is going to work. Because maybe you set a goal to increase my revenue to $7,500, but maybe I do have some increases happening, but maybe I don't have the staff capacity to hold up to the capacity of what's happening with my sales. So maybe my new goal is now to increase my staff so I can handle the increase in customers that are coming in. So you've got to be able to identify that. And from there, what are my new opportunities that have come into existence? I need to know. Like, I need to stop, I need to reflect, and I need to see, because who knows what opportunity is sitting over here because I went to a networking event that now maybe this is going to help me into a completely different direction that I never even considered. So we have to be looking all the time. I love what the chamber offers. I love what we at the Women's Business Center offer, and I love what we at CMCA offer, is that no matter what area, whether it's your personal or if it's in your business, accountability to help you achieve your goals and to keep you on track, your accountability partner is key. I will tell you, as if you are a business owner and you do not have somebody in your corner professionally that you can lean against, it is extremely difficult to continue to move forward because you are internalizing everything that is happening and you don't know if you are making the right moves. If you just had somebody that says, hey, you should try this, or hey, did you do this like you said you were going to do? It is the same as in your personal life. Those accountability partners are going to keep you on track and help you and to see, is this something that you should be doing and shouldn't be doing? So think about it. Is it a mentor? Is it a coach that you are partnered with? Is it a peer group? Think about how the chamber is absolutely a peer group of like-minded individuals that are helping you get to the point of what for your business. Think about advisory boards, whether it's like for us, I'm not for sure if like the chamber has advisory boards, I'm sure they do, but like for us at the Women's Business Center, so we have our director and stuff, but then we have an advisory board that helps us see the vision of where we want the business center to go. It's the same as if you are doing partner check-ins. So again, like I said, I own a gym. I do accountability check-ins with every one of my members to make sure that they are working towards their goal, that they're staying on track. So everybody needs somebody in their corner to just be there, to be that person that says, hey, you're doing a good job, or hey, you need to look at that again. Those are the people that you want that are going to do tough love. And you got to be okay with getting that information. So many times people just want to hear fluff And that's great from time to time. Sometimes we need that fluff just to help build us back up because maybe we had a really bad time. But we really need those people in our corner that are not afraid to tell us the truth. So if you do not have one of those people in your group, work towards finding somebody. And like for organizations like ourselves and the chamber, like that's what we're here for. We are here to be that accountability partner with you. So you do not have to, and this is business specific. Business is scary, and you need an ecosystem that is built up of surrounding team members that are going to be there by your side. You need to know that you have a trusted banker, a trusted business coach, a business, financial coach, an accountant, a CPA, all of the things. There are so many things that you don't have to be an expert on, but if you have them on your team and your group, you are going to be that much more, you're going to hit your goals so much faster. Because they always say accountability multiplies execution because you stay on track. Because I tell you what, there's been multiple times, and I've worked with Avery for, it seems like forever now, that if I'm going into a meeting and I haven't done what I'm done, I know Avery, she's going to yell. She's going to get on me and she's going to be like, what? Why didn't you do that? Tell me what took precedence over executing the task that you needed to do for your goal. She has always done that. That's a key player that you guys want in your team. So as I kind of like wrap this up a little so we can really get into discussion, I want you to think about yourself, whether, again, if you're here for business or for your personal side, I want you to think of 3 very specific goals. Think about the acronym for SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And get 3 goals on your plate for whether it's a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year. You've got to have a vision. You've got to know what direction you're driving towards, because without a goal, we are literally just kind of floating through time. And so at the bottom of that, I want you to think about, what are my action steps that I physically need to put in place? Identify the categories. Do I need to work on financials, customers? Do I need to create marketing? What does it look like? Assign the date. You need to visually be able to see it, because if you don't, it's just kind of out there. And who knows? You're just going to kind of push it away, and then it gets off to the side. And then all of a sudden you're going to sit there one day over coffee, probably going, oh, I had that goal. Oh, the deadline came. I failed again. And instead of having that mindset, you've got the plan in place all year long, okay? You want to keep moving forward. Even if, when you're looking at that status column and you're like, even if it says in progress, that's okay. Keep it in progress until you hit it. When you hit it, now it's time to expand on that goal to move it forward further. So all of your goals, again, you want to have it. It's for you. It's for your life. I don't know. I get really big on the conversation of goal setting just because I found over the years that if I don't have a goal, I find that I get to the end of the year and I look back on it and I'm like, what did I accomplish? Was my time well spent when I was at work? Again, owning a business is brand new to me. So this is a different world of executing goals. And I'm going to say it's scary. It is absolutely scary, because it's one thing to talk to somebody else about doing, but we're not on the end where it actually is affecting things. But when you're in that role, that's where that accountability piece really comes into play, because as you are making changes that affect not only your life, but somebody else's life, it gets really hard to execute. And so you need to know that there is somebody on your side that is willing to walk through that water with you. So find your accountability partner. They always say small business doesn't fail from lack of effort. They fail from a lack of direction. I keep this quote up in my office and I look at it every single day, because I want the small business owners that I work with to really ponder that thought. Because without it, you're just kind of, again, we're just going. We have all of the effort in the world. Every day we come to work, we're executing, we're doing tasks, we're doing something. But if it's not for something, then it's that mundane stuff. And it almost becomes like The Office or, oh, what's the movie? Office Space, where you just get so frustrated doing the daily stuff. You're doing the memos, you're doing data, you're just doing to do it. Find your passion in what you're doing and have your goal reflect what you are passionate about in life. And even if you are, so for instance, like Gwen and them here from the Callaway Bank, as you guys sit down and you think about those individuals that are walking in off of the street, they are choosing the Callaway Bank for what reason? Now it's the time to build that up and to be like, from that standpoint, from the bank standpoint, is now how are we going to build the relationship? How are we going to set the goals with those individuals coming in to show that we are there to support them? It's the same with the paper. And Emily, like whether it's writing for the paper, what are you executing? What is the information you're trying to get out there? What kind of rapport are you building with the community? Also thinking about personal goals of what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish in work this year? What do I want to accomplish in my personal life this year with my family, with my friends? All of those key markers that we're looking at, we've got to find a way to really sit down and think about it and put those plays into action. Now, I've talked a whole lot. I want to open this up. I want to hear from you guys on what has been a struggle when you set a goal. What's one of the biggest things that holds you back from hitting that goal? And anybody, I would please be interactive.
I will go. I feel like once something goes wrong, I just kind of give up. And just kind of like any little thing where I'm like, I'm off track now. So then I just kind of give up on the goal. Like I feel like I feel like it's ruined, and then like I feel like I can't go forward with the goal anymore.
Do you ever share your goal with anybody?
You.
So how do you feel? Like, do you feel like, so when you are reaching out, and we'll use me for the example, when you reach out to me as you set your goals and stuff like that, do you find like you get nervous because all of a sudden you're going to let me know that you're like, it didn't work, it didn't happen?
Yeah, I feel like the letdown, like letting people down once you tell somebody a goal, and then it's like, I didn't actually get that done.
And so often, every one of us, I feel like every one of us has experienced that feeling. And I feel like that has become something that is just a repetitive action in our lives of just accepting the failure piece instead of picking right back up and going, okay, that didn't work, or I didn't execute the way I needed to. I know where my mistakes were. I now just need to know that that was just that day. That was just that day. That was one day that I failed. I have encouraged, and I've read this in a book. I've heard this in podcast, and I've actually done this myself. In fact, not last year, but the year before, I was very avid about keeping a journal, and it was my Win the Day journal. And so many people know that I am like obsessed with following Andy Frisella and First Form and Supplement Superstore. He created 75 Hard. Like, this is just the man that has always been able to create a vision for himself and find ways to execute it. But he created this mental toughness, this win the day journal aspect where you create 5 tasks on that list that is going to be very intentional to move yourself forward. And every day when you write that down in your journal, those 5 simple tasks, like I need to make 2 phone calls to people for sales. Maybe I need to reach out to 2 people to see if they are going to sponsor an event. Whatever those tasks are, when you check mark them off for doing them for the day, nothing more, but just the tasks that you put on there. If you completed all of them before the end of the day, you check mark and you put a W on that page because you won the day. and the next day you didn't finish all of them. Maybe you only got 3 out of 5 done. You put an L on that page, and okay, you lost a day. We don't win every single day of our life, but the difference is instead of giving up at that day, we move forward, and the next day is a brand new day, and we do it again. And what you notice when you review it every single month and you look at, okay, I won 15 days, and maybe it's 31 days in the month, maybe I lost 16. Okay, fine, but you won 15. So now the goal is to do better than that month and the incoming month. And every day you just keep driving yourself forward instead of quitting. And that's the big piece. That's why we're always analyzing our goals. We're always looking at them, because the key piece could be maybe it wasn't a relevant goal that I set. But if I'm not analyzing it and I'm just thinking, okay, well, I didn't accomplish it, so I'm just giving up. Instead of that mindset, we're going to look at that goal and we're going to be like, okay, that wasn't the right goal. So instead of being a failure, I'm going to pivot and I'm going to set a new one and start the process over again. And it's okay. It is okay to pivot and refocus on where we're going in the future. What questions do you guys have? I want some conversation, anything. What is something that you guys are going to take away from this today in this conversation to help you move forward for this year? Because January is not done.
I like your win of the day thing, like counting off wins for the day. I think that's kind of shows a broad picture of it, because you're not going to go back and remember, oh, well, I did this good, that good. But if you actually can have it like visually see it, then I think that's encouraging.
It was huge, because what you will also find as you're doing those tasks, especially if it's something that maybe you didn't succeed on that first round by like continuously, making 2 calls a day to like reach out to individuals to bring in new business, like eventually that's going to just become a habit in your life. And you're going to be like, okay, I don't need to even have that on my task list anymore, because now it's just a part of who I am. And I know that I'm going to execute that every single day. So even after you notice that trend of winning or losing, as you start to win, you're going to readjust that list and you're going to look at it and be like, okay, here's a new thing that I'm going to add on, because now this other one, just daily, I'm going to do it anyway. So you replace it. It's almost one of those, I remember when he would use the example, he's like, you're not going to put something on there like brushing your teeth every day. But if you have a problem brushing your teeth every day, you absolutely put that on there until it becomes non-negotiable and you just get it done because it's a habit. And then you replace it with something else. But I don't know. It's funny, the examples that he uses. And I highly suggest, if you've never heard of him, look up Andy Frisella. He's got a podcast. It's called Real AF. It is absolutely inspirational for all things, but go back to the very beginning when it's the MFCEO project, not today's, because today's stuff is not everybody's cup of tea.
How do you spell his last name?
Good question.
Ursella, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like F-R-I. Give me 1 second. I have it pretty handy. Frisella.
Okay, thanks.
And he's a Missouri native. He's from just south of St. Louis in Fenton, I think is what it is. So it's really cool to see somebody create a business that has flourished here locally. That's why I love to use him as an example too, because it's one of those things that becomes tangible, because he allows anybody to come up there and do like a tour of his facilities and stuff like that. So that has been absolutely amazing to see in person as well. Anything else? Any questions? Anything that you guys are excited to take on? Maybe adjust some goals that you set already for yourselves? Like, is there any takeaways from today, or did I talk about what everybody already knows?
No, it's a good reminder. Like, I do need to get my business plan together. I haven't slackened with being sick, and then I've been actually really busy with my travel stuff. And then I have a day job as well. So it's just been a lot. So
Well,
I need to
it's a
get
lot.
back on that. Yeah.
If you need assistance with your business plan, reach out to Avery. And like we can partner all of us together as a team. Like we have the ability to sit down with that as well. We have a platform that we utilize. It's called Life Plan, and it walks you through the steps of doing your business plan. So it's I mean it's pretty awesome, and we can do that all together.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
No, this was great overall. Thank you for taking time to do it.
Absolutely. I think this is a great idea that Avery and them have started up there. I love this.
There any other questions or comments?
I'll ask a question. Okay, so I work for the Callaway Bank, obviously, but I also have my own like photography business on the side. And recently it's really picked up, which is great, but you kind of like briefly touched on like balancing work and personal life and how owning like two businesses or something like that, or working a 9 to 5 and owning a business, it's a lot, and I'm experiencing that. Do you have like any suggestions for that? Like how to move forward? Because
Absolutely.
I feel very burnt out and I don't want to feel that way.
So I would love to say that burnout like is something that can be avoided. I'm just going to be very straightforward is that burnout 1000% comes with the territory, especially for new businesses, but it's just because we're thinking about all of the things and it gets very overwhelming. But as your business starts to grow, prioritize those individuals that are coming in. So if there are jobs that are happening that
Mhm.
okay, if your goal is to make money, which one of those that are increasing, which ones are bringing the most income in? And maybe you could scale back on the other ones. But if it's something where your goal is to create memories for the individuals that are coming in, I'm not quite for sure what type of photography business you have, but is it like weddings? Is it portraits? Like what? Help me understand a little bit more.
Right. It's kind of a little bit of everything. I do a lot of seniors and a lot of weddings. That's actually what I think a majority of my clientele is right now is weddings. And with that, like they get package deals, and maybe that's like something I don't know if I need to like renegotiate my package deals and stuff like that, because with those comes like engagement shoots and it just progresses. So I don't know if that's the issue or
Well, what do you see that they're booking out mostly? Like, so are they, when you're doing your wedding packages, are
Mhm.
they focused more on the ones that are the whole shebang? So we've got engagement, we've got, the announcements. Are you doing bachelor and bachelorette parties? Are we doing the pre-wedding where you're getting with both areas, the bride and the groom, and doing that whole setup before? Like, is
Right.
it during the ceremony? Is it all of the reception? Like, is it something that like you said, scale it back, or are those the money makers? Like, what's the goal of your business? What do you want to accomplish with the business to
Right.
replace that income? Do you want to stay working at the Callaway Bank? And I don't know if your boss, if, okay, I'm looking around, I'm like, is the boss still on? But is it something that you want to stay there permanently, or are you trying to replace that to grow your own business to be your full-time gig?
And I think that's honestly a question I have yet to answer. I don't know. I think that's like where I'm struggling. I don't know what the end goal is. I know this is like a passion project that turned into like a business very fast. And I think I'm struggling with that. And I think I'm also scared. I'm sure other business owners feel that way because
Absolutely.
it's a scary thing to progress that full time. But I don't know. I think I'm trying to balance it, but I'm not sure which direction to take.
So what I would start with first is get an understanding of if this is only going to stay a passion project for right now, you have the ability to choose who you say yes and no to. Because
Okay.
it's if your goal is to create these magic memories for weddings specifically, and that's what fills your bucket as a business owner, then I would look at, okay, maybe I don't do portraits because everybody nowadays anybody can shoot senior portraits. It's amazing that everybody with an iPhone's like, I'm a photographer and I can do this and I'll only charge you this. Well, go ahead. Share the
Right.
love. The one thing that you're not going to run out of is graduates because you're going to have a new round of them every single year. They're going to keep producing, but not everybody gets married all of the time.
Right.
So if you focus that and that's what you love and you love being a part of that, that whole experience, devote your time there and decrease it over here.
Okay.
And then really decide how many can I logistically take on so you're not overwhelming yourself. Because we are
Right.
getting into wedding season and it's about to go crazy.
Oh yeah, I have back-to-back weddings like each weekend. I've
And
already like closed my books. That's why I was like,
hey, that's a
it's
good
been a
problem to
lot. I've been
have.
like taking my slow season and like using this as a time to plan out and really like get better about balancing and stuff like that. I just don't want to feel burnt out like I was in fall, which is very busy season for photographers. So,
So I
but
would really focus on, okay, what's my end goal for
okay,
not for the whole period, but for this phase of your life. You've now progressed it where people know who you are and they
right.
know that she has high quality work. This is why we're requesting her. Now give yourself an allotment. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm only going to do, and I don't know, 10 weddings over the next 5 months. I don't know realistically like how many you have lined up. So I'm just like throwing
Right.
numbers out. But like, so that way you're giving yourself time and you're not double booking yourself and just like running like with nobody's business. Because if you really start overcommitting yourself, that burnout 1000%, but
Yes.
then you're also not, your day job's going to look at you and be like, so your performance is going down. What's going on?
Right.
And I mean, a good like supervisor and stuff will notice that and be like, is there something that we can help you with? Can we help you identify these things, especially as a bank? Like you got those,
Right.
you're kind of like me. So like in the business center or at the chamber and stuff, we've got resources that are so right at our fingertips that most people don't have access to.
Right.
So we've got that accountability piece in play. But for you, really understanding, sit down, whether it's this evening, think about, look, like get old fashioned, get a pen and paper, get a calendar out, put your personal stuff on there first. What are your
Okay.
non-negotiables in your personal life and mark them down so there's no way they are in pin, they're not coming off. Other things will have to just, sorry, I'm not available. And you have to create boundaries for yourself. Because
Okay.
the other piece as a small business owner is we want to please everybody. Because if the word of mouth has gotten out and they're coming to us, we want to give back. We want to provide the service to them, but there are times when we just can't.
Right. Okay.
So sit
Thank
down,
you.
create a
Yeah.
calendar for that, and you're going to start to see where you can like thin things out.
Okay. This was very insightful. Like genuinely, I appreciate it.
And absolutely, and you've got our contact information. Reach out to myself or Avery. Heck, I come up there all the time. And in fact, I'm going to be, several times a month, I'm actually going to be in Callaway County up there. If you're on a lunch break or something, reach out to me. We can sit down and go through that together so you've got somebody else in
Yes.
your corner to help move you
That would
forward.
be fantastic because I think I have a lot of accountability here in my 9 to 5 job, but for my photography, I have a lot of uh, people that I'm associated with, other photographers, but I think I need accountability there too, just like in the managing my entire business aspect, not just, the creativity part. So that'd be excellent. I'd love that.
Absolutely. You're on mute, Dave.
There we go. Did you see Lauren's comment?
I missed it.
Can you? So it says work-life balance is a struggle, especially when it's what is keeping the lights on and food on the table, but it's important. Oh, and to figure out when to sleep.
Yes.
Sleep is so overrated. We can sleep when we're dead. That's what they always say. But we need it.
Yes. Right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up just to stay on time. So thank you so much, Jamie. This was wonderful. And I really appreciate you and your insights on everything.
Absolutely. If you guys have questions or anything, again, feel free to reach out. I'm just gonna drop my email in the chat again really, really quick before Avery like cuts us all off. I can't type today. Please reach out to me, schedule some times. We'll all get together. It's 100% awesome. I would be happy to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
guys.
Thank you.